Hello, friends, and welcome to English Classes Online. I am Benjamin, and in today's lesson, we are going to look at rules for comparing with adverbs. Of course, using adverbs to make comparison is an important way of communicating a variety of ideas in English. And so that is the focus of today's lesson. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Make sure you click on the bell icon as well, so that whenever a new video goes live on this channel, you will be notified instantly. Without much ado, let's dive into the lesson. Now, let's begin with a quick look at the agenda for today's episode. We have 4 items on the agenda for this lesson. Number 1, what are the adverbs for making comparison? Number 2, the rules for using positive adverbs. Number 3, the rules for using comparative and superlative adverbs. And number 4, the rules for forming comparatives and superlatives. Now let's begin with the first one by looking at adverbs for making comparisons. Adverbs are generally used to describe actions and qualities. And there are 3 degrees of comparison: positive, comparative, and superlative. Let's look at the examples. We have early, earlier, right? We have early, earlier, earliest. We have fast, faster, fastest, well, better, best, happily, more happily, most happily. Then we have slowly, more slowly, and most slowly. These are a few examples. And then let's look at the rules for using positive adverbs. The rule is simple. Use positive adverbs to describe one thing. For example, the guests arrived 15 minutes early. Now, the word early is the adverb describing, excuse me, the arrival of the guests. And then number 2, Julian married late. Late is the adverb. And here you will always see that when we are describing one thing, we use a single word adverb. I mean, just an adverb. The positive adverb precisely. Then number 3, Raina smiled happily. Now, happily is the adverb. And number 4, the man is speaking calmly. Calmly is the adverb. Junior writes well. Well is the adverb. Now let's look at rules for using comparatives and superlative adverbs. The second rule is that if you want to use comparative adjectives, use comparative adjectives to compare 2 things. For example, the guest arrived earlier than expected. So we are looking at 2 things. The time the guests arrived and the time we expected them to arrive. The guests arrived earlier than expected. Number 2, Okon met her 2 years later. Okay, 2 years later. Now, it means that there is a reference to a previous meeting, and then 2 years later, right? So we always use the comparative to compare 2 things, and sometimes one of the things we are comparing may be implied, may not be explicitly stated, but it is implied. Number 3, Jude finished more quickly than Jack. So here we are looking at two persons' performance, Jude and Jack. Number 4, this shoe fits more comfortably than that one. So we are looking at the, the kind of use or benefit that two shoes provide. And one, fits more comfortably than the other. So you always see that in using comparative adverbs, we are comparing two actions or two qualities, as the case may be. Number 5, Junior writes better about sports. So we are comparing how he writes about sports with how he writes about other things. Okay? Now, the rules for using superlative adverbs: use superlative adverbs to compare 3 or more things. So that is exactly what we have to look at. For example, of all the students, Joy arrived earliest. So earliest is a superlative adverb. We're using it to describe 3 or more students. Henry works best when he is happy. We are looking at other times or other situations in which Henry works, and then we are comparing this with one of them, which is when he is happy. Henry works best when he is happy, and the superlative adverb here is best. Now, you will recall that when we looked at rules for using adjective to make comparison, we also looked at the word good, better, best. And so best can be used as an adjective and can also be used as an adverb. So you should be able to differentiate the two. Best is used as an adjective when it is used to describe a noun, but it is used as an adverb when it is used to describe a verb. Henry works. So this best here describes works, how Henry works. Now let's look at the next example. She sang most beautifully at the assembly. Most beautifully is the superlative adverb here. This shoe fits most comfortably of all. Most comfortably is the superlative adverb. Number 5, your dog barks most loudly at midnight. Most loudly at midnight. Now let's look at the rules for forming comparatives and superlatives. We looked at how they are used, but then in order to use them, you have to form them. So we want to just quickly look at the rules that govern how they are formed. Number 1, most one-syllable adverbs form their comparative and superlative degrees by adding er and est. Examples: early, earlier, earliest; fast, faster, fastest, right? Hard, harder, hardest. Okay, so that's what we find here. Then rule number 2 for formation of adverbs, comparative and superlative adverbs. Adverbs of more than one syllable usually form their comparatives and superlatives by using more and most, less and least. For example, happily, more happily, most happily; comfortably, more comfortably, most comfortably; calmly, more calmly, most calmly; unusually, more unusually, and most unusually. Okay? And then we look at the third one, the rule for forming comparatives. Now, rule number 3, a few adverbs form their comparatives and superlatives irregularly. And we call them irregular adverbs. And we just have one example here. Well, better, best. You see, well, better, best. So you need to understand, I earlier referred to best as a word that can be used as an adjective and also used as an adverb. So it's a superlative adjective. It is also a superlative adverb. When it is a superlative adjective, it compares human beings or things. But when it is a superlative adverb, it compares actions and qualities. Now, the same thing applies to better. Okay? So that is exactly the way it is. And this is where we are going to draw the curtain on today's video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then make sure you like the video and share the video with your friends and relations. If you are new to the channel and you have not yet subscribed to the channel, kindly subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Make sure you click on the bell icon as well, so that whenever a new video goes live on this channel, you'll be notified instantly. I have some free PDF, one specific free PDF ebook, which is on the basic units of English grammar. If you are interested in it, then you can check it out in the description section. Just click on the link and you'll be able to download that free ebook just free of charge, all right? And I have other ebooks that you might find quite useful in your quest for achieving proficiency in English. One of them is Good Success in English, a complete study package for effective English learning. If you're interested in it, simply click on it. And any other ebook that you are interested in, simply click on it and you'll be able to grab a copy for yourself. You might want to visit our website on www.englishclassesonline.com.ng. If you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I want to say a big thank you to all of you for being part of today's episode. I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. Be blessed.